Hey, third grade. We are continuing working with fractions and comparing fractions today. So I'm just going to be modeling comparing fractions again, and I'm going to give you guys a chance to be using your fraction strips. So if you don't have these out already, I need you to go get them, and then you'll be ready for today's lesson. All right, so with today's lesson, again, we're going to be comparing fractions that have the same numerators and the same denominators. Remember, your numerator is the top number of your fraction, and who remembers what the numerator represents? Good. The numerator represents the number that is being shaded or counted. And in this case, I'm just going to shade them. All right. So 2/3 is being shaded. Okay. And then here, how many parts are going to be shaded? Good. 4 parts good. 2 parts. All right. 2 parts are shaded. All right, and then this one, we're going to have the same denominators. And who can tell me what the denominator represents in your problem? Good, your denominator represents the total number of parts in your whole. So this one has a denominator of 6, so it's going to have 6 total parts. This has a denominator of 6, and it's going to have 6 total parts. And it's really, really important that we always remember that our parts have to be equal and our wholes have to be equal. So both of these circles need to be the same size, and then the parts inside each circle need to be the same size. So how many pieces are going to be shaded in the fraction 2/6? Good, 2 pieces. And it doesn't matter which 2 you shade. I could have shaded this one and this one. I could have shaded pieces on opposite sides. It doesn't matter. You just have to have 2 of the 6 shaded. All right? How many pieces are going to be shaded in 5/6? Good. 5 pieces are going to be shaded. 2, 3, 4, 5. All right. There are the 5 pieces. There are the 2 pieces. These both represent 2/6, and that one represents 5/6. Now let's compare our fractions. But first, I want to review our symbols, okay? If I draw this symbol, what does that symbol mean? Greater than. Good job. If that's greater than, what's that symbol? That's less than. All right, now let's keep on going, and we're going to be comparing these fractions, all right? We're going to start off by comparing 2/4 and 3/4. What part of the fraction is the same for both of these? Great job, your denominators. And your denominators tell you what? Your denominators tell you the total number of parts in your whole. Wonderful job, third grade. All right, so I'm going to get out my fraction strips. And I have my 4ths out, okay? And I am going to fold my fraction strip to represent 2/4. And then I'm going to fold my fraction strip to represent 3/4. Now, this is 2/4. This is 3/4. 2/4 is what to 3/4? There's the symbols to help you. 2/4 is what to 3/4? This is 2/4. And this is 3/4. Great job. 2/4 is going to be less than 3/4. Okay, I want you to get your fraction strips, and I want you to create 3/6 and 3/4. Your numerator is 3 in both fractions. So I want you to get your fraction strips and create 3/6 and 3/4. All right. So I'm going to put 3/6 on top and 3/4 on bottom. 3/6 is what to 3/4? Great job. You guys are getting really, really great at this. 3/6 is going to be less than 3/4. Okay? I want you to get out 2/3 and 1/3. So you need to just get out your thirds, 2/3 and 1/3. All right, I want you to show me 2/3. Great job. And now I want you to show me 1/3. Great job. So for 2/3, you showed me this, which is 1/3 and 1/3. So 1, 2. And for 1/3, you showed me just this. All right. 2/3 is what to 1/3? Oops. 2/3, 1/3. 2/3 is greater than or less than? Great job. 2/3 is going to be greater than 1/3. All right, you guys are doing a really, really great job at comparing your fractions, okay? Now we're just going to go down and we're going to compare these fractions. So I want you to get 3/4 and 1/4. And first we need to shade our models. How many parts are going to be shaded on 3/4? Good. 3 parts, 3 pieces, however you say that. Okay, how many are going to be shaded in 1/4? Great job, just 1. So looking at your models, 3/4 is what to 1/4? 3/4 is greater than. Good job. Okay. 2/8 and 2/6. What part of my fractions are the same here? I know I heard it. Your numerators. Awesome job. All right. So I want you to get out your fraction strips and I want you to show me 2/8. And now let me see 2/6. Good. Okay, so I'm going to lay my fractions down. There's 2/8. And here's 2/6. 2/8 is what compared to 2/6? Awesome, less than. Okay, and then you can shade in. Now, if you wanted to shade them in first, you could have done that. That's totally fine. There you go. I have 2 pieces shaded in each model because my numerator is 2 and your numerator tells you how many pieces are being counted or shaded. All right, I want to see 1/3 and 2/3. Great job. 1/3 is what to 2/3? One-third is less than 2/3. All right, and you can see that by this is 1/3, and this would be 2/3. So that's 1/3 and 2/3. 2/3 is going to be greater. Now remember, when your denominators are the same, so just like here and here, and this one, you're going to have the same total number of pieces or parts in your model, okay? When your numerator is shaded, or sorry, when your numerators are the same, you're going to have the same number of pieces shaded in your two parts, but your pieces are not going to be the same size. 2/8 is going to be smaller than 2/6. The pieces in your 8ths are going to be less than the pieces in your 6ths. Why is that? Good. Your 8ths are going to be smaller than your 6ths because you have the same size whole, but you're cutting this up into more parts, all right? So the more parts you have to create, the smaller your pieces are going to be. So looking at 2/3 and 2/4, which one is going to have smaller pieces? Great. Your 4ths are going to have smaller pieces because you have to cut your whole up into more parts. 2/3 is going to be bigger, greater than 2/4 because your parts are going to be larger. Even though you are shading the same number of pieces, your thirds are larger than your fourths, okay? The larger the denominator, the smaller the number of pieces. Looking at 4/6 and 4/4, which one is going to have larger pieces? Between 4/6 and 4/4, which one is going to have larger pieces? Great, your 4ths are going to have larger pieces. Okay, and then 4/6. Also, what does 4/4 represent? Four-fourths represents one whole. Okay, so 4/6 is going to be less than 4/4. Remember, when your numerator and your denominator are the same number, that means you have a whole is being shaded, a whole is being counted. All right. Remember, if you guys are needing any help, you need to be making sure that you're asking your teacher, okay? If you need to hop on office hours, please do that. And I really, really hope that you guys have watched this whole video today.